Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Hammer. This is episode, what, 17? 16? No, 17.
17.
With me, like always, is Seb and Savage. Gotta love them. Well, you don't really, but I pretend.
Well, someone's gotta love us.
Well, I don't even pretend that hard when it comes to Savage.
But you told me you loved me.
Okay, before this gets out of control, let's get to the show. So we have we're going to be talking about some 3D printing today. We're going to be talking about, we have an army list that got sent in, and we are also going to be talking about the regular stuff, you know, Shamehammer, unit of the week, hobby tip. But to start things off, we'll talk about what we've done in the hobby this week. Seb, I'll go to you first because you're on my first scene, so there we go. So this week, what have you done?
I've been trekking through the jungles of Rogar 3 with Catachans. Just been munching on Death World, really enjoying that. And last night we got a couple of games in, some Thousand Suns against some Space Wolves action. And you taught me a new one, as you so normally do, so that was fun.
That was a pretty good game, though.
Yeah, definitely. And the addition of the Helldrake definitely made a difference. So I'm in love with that now.
Mm-hmm. Have you done any painting or assembling or anything of this demon army?
Unfortunately, not yet. I'm relying on Sarah to spray the look because I'm not safe with the spray can. So getting nearer there. Getting nearer there. Maybe I'll start that by the time you've finished all your commissions and started your wolves.
Well, Savage isn't safe with the spray can either, so. but that's for completely different reasons. So, Savage, done anything this week?
I worked and then nope. I just worked and then came home and collapsed most of the time.
Well, that's. Well, I mean, we can relate to the hobby by saying that you work to get money to hobby.
Yeah.
But
I looked at models. That was
you
about
looked
it.
at models. You didn't
Yes.
read any fluff or anything.
Nope.
Make any lists.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Fair enough.
No.
Okay.
I try so hard and I don't really try.
You try
I
so
try
hard and don't get very far. And in the
try
end,
in
it
the
doesn't
end.
really matter. Okay. Well,
What about you, Toxic? What have you done this week?
more
You have to
commission
fall to
stuff.
lose it all.
That's about it. Yeah, I'm nearly finished. I've just got the, as you can see, just the few remaining models here. I had a lot more last week, so just the characters left, which I'll finish today, and that'll be done. And then I have a week to get my tournament army ready, which is only 500 points, so it shouldn't be too hard. So that's me. Oh, and I had those games with you, Seb. But that's about
I kind
it.
of think you do enough modelling to kind of make up for Savage and I.
Probably, but it's yeah. So we'll move on to news and rumors with Seb. He's our news guy. So
Indeedly.
Seb, what's in the news this week?
In the news this week, starting with fantasy, Warhammer Fantasy 9th edition army books. There is speculation abounding on the forums that the 9th edition army books are going to be significantly different and could well cause nerd rage, which would be interesting and explosive when it happens. There is speculation about compendiums of more armies in a single volume, with significantly less background and fluff, with some crazy people even saying they think the book should be all rules and leave all the fluff and extra supplements and things to Black Library, which is kind of madness. So yeah, that will be interesting when it comes 2015 when 9th edition of Fantasy is released. And also one of the new things that's coming with those, they might be creating a similar allies matrix to the one that is running in 40k. So yeah, there's a bit of an overhaul coming with the next edition of Fantasy, but more on that as we have it. But it could mean that all and every new army book, even the ones that have just recently come out, are going to be completely redundant in a couple of years, if they've been updated or not. So yeah, watch this space. If you're collecting all the fantasy books, that might not be the best idea unless you're going to get some use out of them.
Yeah, big surprise. Games Workshop's going to screw you over.
But
What?
I find it difficult to believe.
No, they
But,
love us.
They love your money.
They do love that money.
They're the only ones that like it, that you haven't done any hobby, but you've only gone to work. It means you got more money to spend. See, everyone else is excited to hear what you've done with the hobby. They're just excited that you've gone to work.
So yeah, so now that I've kind of made you unexcited about the fact that the current army books, it looks like there might be a few more this year though. Still, Dwarf's apparently due for a book out this year, which may well be written by Jeremy Vettock. So yeah, Dwarves, Lizardmen, and Dark Elves may all get an update before 9th in 2015. In other fantasy news, the Battle of Blackfire Pass might be something that could be ready to roll by Christmas time. That's going to be a Forge World imperial, like a fantasy sort of Imperial armor style campaign between the men, dwarfs, and orcs. There's going to be a book supplement and minis to come along with this. I think the picture we've got is from a mock-up from a few years ago, but it looks like that may well be coming for Christmas time. So exciting stuff from Fantasy Forge World. Moving on to Black Library, they've had On Into the Dead, the Horus Heresy audio drama released recently, and I believe we've got a pic of that there. It's quite good actually. I did a read of it and did a review on darcebius.com. So yeah, it's pretty good. Titan's action and more of word bearers getting involved in the Ultramar system. Black Library also re-releasing Descent of Angels in a hardback copy, presumably just because they can charge more for it. But they're also doing the full unabridged audiobook available for pre-order at the moment. They really kind of need to redo the opening trilogy though, so they're not abridged and with a better narrator. That's the thing they should be concentrating on. But again, something new and old at the same time. Denethos by Ben Counter as a limited edition novella, available for the first time since 2010 with new art, and that's part of the Soul Drinkers, and I do believe we have a video of that.
Yep, we'll put that on now. If it will play.
Fingers crossed. Together.
Okay, there you go. That was the video.
So yeah, I'm just kind of intrigued. Chat room, has anyone been waiting on tenterhooks for the last 2 years because they unfortunately didn't get their copy of this? I'm imagining not.
Yeah, the wait is over. The wait that no one really.
Yeah. The wait for the limited edition money that Black Library could get from us. But the Black Library's Horus Heresy Weekender did sell out, and it is this weekend, which is so. I'm sure lots of people are having very exciting Horus Heresy times. But one of the things that have come from the Horus Heresy Weekend is we have another picture of Fulgrim. But we can see a bit more detail of the Primarch there, so that's rather exciting. They do like the leapy with the huge bases, don't they? The Primarchs
with all the dead bodies all over it.
Yeah, they do like the body. Yeah, the body count's got to be on the base, otherwise, you're not really a Primarch.
I don't really like how angry he looks.
Well, apparently they tried to sculpt him serene, but it just didn't work. So they kind of went for angry.
I was expecting him to be more like kind of emotionless in his perfection. You know,
Like Toxic.
Yeah. Emotionless in my perfection.
Yeah.
Oh, it's turning into the Hammer love story. But Savage, anything on Fulgrim? Does it excite you?
No, not really.
Fair enough.
I'm waiting for like Horus. That'd be cool.
So I thought
Horus
you would have
would
already had anger on by now. I mean, you're a World Eaters player at heart.
Yeah, but it's $70. But the poncho,
Yeah.
it's $70 is like, it's
$70. Come on, you're throwing down more than that on one squad.
Yeah, a squad. It's like anger on, and then I'll be too scared to paint it.
Then send them to me.
No, I want to paint it.
Well, then paint it.
No, Seb, can you paint it?
If you painted it, you'd have something to say that you did for the week. Could be a little project of your own.
Even if you brought it, you'd have something to say that you did.
That means I have to do stuff.
Okay.
Next week, Savage is just. I put it in the basket. I haven't ordered it yet. So back to news and rumours, on to 40k stuff. It appears that the Tau are now finally readily available. The UK Games Workshop site is now saying 24 hours for orders for all the Tau stuff. When only earlier this week or at the end of last week it was still 4 to 5 weeks. So I'm not sure what people's experiences are with that, but it looks like the Tau are now available if you want them. And as far as I can see, checking the websites and things, the High Elves haven't had any major problems with ordering yet, unless anyone has had any different experiences they want to chime in the chat room. But yeah,
No one
so
likes Warhammer.
just because you don't like Warhammer Fantasy, Savvy, doesn't mean that everyone else doesn't.
I was actually about to question why you're asking, because I thought you were just going to ask us, like, have you guys had any problems? I'm like, Seb, do you really think we've spent money on High Elves?
Well, I wanted to focus on it. I know he got his from his local store quite easily, so that was never something that was really available for the Tau. So they either the High Elves are much less popular, or no one, yeah, or they're just getting more models out to people. But it's probably the former rather than the latter. Now we have a picture for this next one, and I'm quite excited about this. I'm not sure where if Games Workshop or whether their intellectual property is being used to sell houses. I'm pretty sure they're not.
I haven't seen this picture
here we
yet.
have Landmark Creations. Apparently, now believe it or not, this is not an Ultramarine. This is Slash Gordon. So
Slash
Landmark
Gordon.
Creation slash motherfucking Gordon. Yeah, Landmark Creations is responsible for the Ultramarine neo-closest housing development. It's the lovable blow-up doll, goes by the name of Slash Gordon, because Ultramarines are like Flash Gordon characters, obviously. But yeah, they believe he is electric blue Transformer type action figure, bringing excitement to their new property developments.
Look at that
so, yeah,
smile. That's horrifying.
It's really scary, isn't it?
That's like, look at that smile. Like his vents on his helmet have moved into a grin.
They have indeed. But just how is that not an Ultramarine? The fact that it's even like cobalt blue and gold.
I mean, my guess is that it's done on purpose. To get, because people are gonna see it and be like, well, you're gonna get like sued, and even if they do get, Games Workshop sues them, it's free publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, kind of thing. That's my opinion, because you look at that, and there's no way that you just accidentally made that without knowing what a Space Marine is. Like, look at the details on it. Like, the details, like the helmet, he's got the vents, he's got the top
He doesn't
little
have the
vent
backpack.
thing. He doesn't have a backpack, but I mean, look at that. Like, you got the
Where's
the
he gonna put his
kneecaps.
lunch?
That is not what the Space Marine backpacks are. I'm sorry.
What?
But he is from the best value company, which is always good. You can see his markings on his pauldron there. Yeah, I just think this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Apparently, yeah, as folks are saying, there's a £2,000 fine right there.
How is that even to do with selling houses? Like, how does a Space Marine or an electric blue Transformer action figure sell houses?
Maybe it's for the rehoming of people after Calf.
It looks like
But
he's
yeah.
like evilly grinning as he picks up someone's house. He's about to like flip it or something like that. Like, you want your house back? Nope. Just throws it in a puddle of mud.
In the outside picture, it does look like he's in the process of throwing that house at someone.
He's just throwing the house at cars that drive by.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe Al Harrington is one of his creations.
It would be kind of funny if it was windy and he broke loose from those restraints, and you see on the news this like giant space marine getting like blown down, like flying through the air, heading toward the town. Everyone needs to get inside. They're gonna get hit by a flying space marine. You're like,
Just deep striking into the town centre.
like just the town just gets like put on like emergency just because there's this flying space marine causing the breeze.
I'm just loving the fact that this made it into news and rumours. This isn't even Shamehammer this week, so prepare yourselves for that later. Has anyone got any final parting comments about Slash Gordon before we move on?
I can't wait to see the jumping castle Land Raider.
His face kind of looks like a dinosaur face, like with that grin.
Not sure about dinosaur.
The eyes and the mouth. I don't know. It's a shit-eating grin at that.
But I'm pretty sure that blow up Ceramite doesn't give you a 3+ armor save though.
Was it like a 4-up? Something?
Oh dear. Right. So yeah, that's Slash Gordon, and that's warmed my cockles for the rest of the week, to be honest. Back to the news rumors. Pocket 40k / Travel Warhammer. We have a little picture there here. There's a site which is Pocket W40k on the Google sites, and they're effectively using Epic Minis.
Are we still here?
I'm here.
Yeah. Lost connection there for a second.
Yeah. Okay, so are we back?
Yeah, I think we're back. We've just lost Seb. Uh-oh. He's got his
Robot voice on.
yeah.
How
Seb, you got
embarrassing.
all, robot voice on us. Okay, so I guess we'll carry on our best.
I just cannot do it, Captain.
Okay. So yeah, Pocket 40k. I didn't look too much into this. I think Seb looked a little bit further into it, but essentially, epic scale miniatures used to play games of 40k. I think they have conversions and all that good stuff for like tables and stuff, so you could figure out what have the size of the board and everything like that. But I mean, it looks kind of fun. Savage, what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not for you.
I don't know. It's still not pocket sized. Like, you can't carry around your whole army in your pocket.
Yeah, you could look at the size of that rhino.
Maybe.
How small are your pockets?
Small. I don't know. It seems pretty good though, but I'd still prefer the proper scale.
Yeah, I mean, I would dig it for a break, but that's about it. Still having a problem with Seb's audio, so I am going to I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I will move on. We have another news segment, but I don't know anything about it. That was for Seb, so we'll move on from that, and we'll go to the main topic, which is 3D printing. So we'll talk about that. Sure, let's see if I can get Seb back first. So I might just I'll try and maybe restart the call. It didn't.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Excellent.
Wonderful. Sorry about that.
Well, we've discussed Pocket 40K. We have the last one about the Eldar. Did you want to go over that?
Awesome scene. So, yeah, apologies about that. I'm not sure what's going on with Skype. So, Aeldari Rumours, as obviously they're coming very, very soon. So it looks like there might be an overhaul of one of the Eldar aspects. There's rumour chatter out there, that one of the aspects getting a massive overhaul rules-wise to redefine their role and bring the army up to date with 6th edition. So it looks like there's a very good chance that could be new weapons and loadouts with many anti-air options for the black-clad killers that are the Deep Dark Reapers. So yeah, it may well be the Dark Reapers, it might be something else, but presumably it's going to be some Skyfire-y stuff so they can deal with the flyers and things. And the other room that we have at the moment, there's a couple of different divergent schools of thought of how the latest codex is going to affect the Shuriken family. So they're very, very different from each other. So let's see, have a quick look at them. The first one is the Bane of Flesh, the option that highlights the vicious nature of the Shuriken ammo, making it deadlier versus stat line models. So a Shuriken pistol would get a 12-inch strength 4 AP5 pistol with Flesh, Bane or Shred. Basically everything in that option is giving you AP5 and strength 4 and then 6 when it gets to the bigger weapons with Flesh, Bane and Shred. And the Shrieker cannon might even have poison +4 and pinning. The other option is the Reign of Shuriken, which is the option highlights the amazing rate of fire of the Shuriken weapons, focusing on the weight of fire, making them all strength 4 AP5 and then strength 6 AP5 with the Shuriken Shrieker cannon, and giving them salvo. So might be seeing some difference to how the Shurikens are operating. How do you guys feel about these differences in how they're currently operating?
I think they currently how they're operating is, I don't really have a problem with Shuriken weapons apart from their range, but obviously you're firing a little disc at someone, and I've said it on Fluff Talk, it's basically like a frisbee. Eventually the wind's just gonna pick it up and that Shuriken's gone. So I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more range on some Shuriken weapons, but other than that I don't mind how I think they're a very effective gun. Savage?
Much the same as Toxic. I've read the Eldar Codex a couple of times and I don't really see much of a problem with it. So, Games Workshop seems to like to touch things that don't need to be touched.
Fair enough. A Flashbane and Shred could be interesting.
Yeah.
So I think that brings us to the end of the news and rumours. I'd like to apologise once again for popping off. Skype doesn't seem to like me so much.
No. So we'll move on to our main topic, which is, I said it before when we were about to move on to it, which is 3D printing. Basically why we're talking about that is now the technology is getting relatively cheap. I think there was news about one that was going to be about $1,300 that you could buy at, what's that store called, like Staples or something.
Staples.
And that's relatively cheap when you think about the price that people put into their armies. I mean, right? I mean, I don't want to start putting down figures of what we're put into the hobby, but $1,300 is nothing. I mean, Savage, can you back me up there?
No, I don't spend that much money. What are you talking about? Don't ask me questions.
If he was to spend the money, he'd have to do something with it afterwards.
Yeah.
But then people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, I suppose.
In a hypothetical situation, yes.
Yeah. So the idea is that you have your 3D printer. Obviously, you can do things that are a bit more illegal with them, and copy models that are already out and print your own. However, the idea is that we've kind of talked about before is, ones if some company sold you, they didn't just sell you models, they sold you the right to print your own, model with your 3D printer. So you want that unit, you just print your own and paint it up, and there you go. So, any thoughts and ideas on this? I mean, Seb, you've kind of looked into this topic since I told you we're going to be talking about it. What are your thoughts?
It was the whole 3D printing thing is just blowing my mind. I know it's slightly off topic, but the fact that they reckon in 20 years they'll be able to print organs is crazy. So, printing a few Chaos Space Marines or something shouldn't be too much of an issue. But I think you mentioned Staples earlier with doing the more affordable printer and scanner that's coming out. But I believe they're actually even piloting in Belgium and the Netherlands. They're actually just doing a service where you can come and print things out that you want. So they're already making it readily available to the public now. I know that's obviously just in Belgium and Netherlands at the moment, but that could be very, very interesting. And we talked about how they could keep the rights and keep it all very controlled in the same sort of similar way iTunes works. So yeah, I definitely think something that'd be very exciting. Just print them off and get painting.
Yeah, I mean,
wouldn't have to stick them together.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Games Workshop's not going to do that. I don't think anyone's out there is going to say, well, yeah, I can see Games Workshop doing that. They'll sell you the right to print this model. Well, no one's going to say that. But I think the point that we're kind of saying is, some company can easily pick this up. If you're taking out the cost of printing models yourself and molding models yourself, all you're doing is selling the design to it. There's some profit in that, in not having to buy all the equipment to make these models yourself. And even if you just had a couple of 3D printers and printed out some for people that don't have a 3D printer of your own. But like Seb was saying, there's places around that they're testing out having 3D printers that the public can come use. So I think it's a great idea, and I can't wait to see a company that will actually, even if they design a game around it, like not taking an existing game and converting it to that, but someone making a game around having their models being able to be 3D printed. I mean, the idea to me sounds insane. You got your codex or army book or whatever on your computer, you're looking through your units and you're like, yeah, I want to take that, and you just click it and it just starts printing next to you. Like, how insane is that?
It's really,
a vast
really
virus
exciting.
database has been updated.
Oh, my antivirus just popped up, so everyone might have heard that.
But I think the other thing, with where you can design all your own, all the models yourself, I think there could really be some interesting ways in going into conversions and stuff. You could almost use the existing things, and rather than kind of cut and shutting models, conversion kits together, you could actually just three-dimensionally build it on the computer and print it away. You can even make up your own armies and chapters and vehicles and things for Warhammer or anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a game that's based around building kind of like mech suits with Lego, and from what I could tell, it was basically you create kind of like your own unit, like put the guns on that you want, kind of design your own thing. And that'd be awesome if there was, like they gave you a program where you could make your own kind of like mech or anything really, your own troop, design them the way you want to, throw them off to a 3D printer, and you have this like insanely customized army that you made yourself.
So the other thing I'm thinking is, so for the the models and statues and things, you could have some incredible stuff. Because yeah, I just see myself making lots of large Space Marines as models, things to have around.
I mean, Savage, what's your thoughts on this? We kind of talked privately about this topic, but have you thought about it a little bit more since then?
Still, I don't know. Like from pictures I've seen, obviously it's only going to get better, but like the quality of some of the things isn't.
Yeah, like we have some
Great.
pictures here. I'll throw them up. We got this is a dreadnought, and obviously the quality on this is not as good as if you brought from Games Workshop, but I mean I saw this a few years ago, if I remember rightly. So yeah, that's back when technology's come a long way since then. So that's the dreadnought. This one I haven't seen. I've only saw today when Seb showed it to me. These models, like, look at those, like 3D printed. That's pretty insane. You seen those pictures, Savage?
Yep.
They up yet for you?
Yeah, they just came through then.
Yeah. Like, what do you think about that quality? Now, if we're talking about that quality, could you see,
Yeah, I could definitely see it being something. It's just the fact that it's relying heavily on having a 3D printer. Like, even if they did print their own models and things like that.
What if you could go to a stationery store though, and they had like a 3D printer that you could use there? You plug in your, what do you call it, USB or whatever, memory stick, and you could just print your army at, say, like a stationery store or something like that, or a printing store.
Yeah, but then I'm in Australia, so it usually takes like a couple of years after it happens everywhere else for stuff like that to come up. Even then, like it's a good idea, but I just think it would rely a lot on having a 3D printer or living near somewhere that has a 3D printer.
So you're against the idea?
I'm not against it. Like, it'd be nice to see it. I'm just saying that it's probably impractical.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, now it might, maybe, but even then, like, how much would you still be saving if someone was printing this stuff and putting it up on eBay for people that don't have a 3D printer? Like, it's not going to be costing them much, and they're probably not going to be selling it for a lot. I mean, even if it's not practical right now, the idea still excites me. It's going to be pretty amazing.
I think one of the things about it is that people can do what they want, and there's no risk. That's one of the big things they're pushing in one of the videos I watched with regards to 3D printing is you make one thing, you use it or you sell it, and that's, you don't have to cast loads of models and create all the molds and everything. You just do it as to order. So it gives a lot more independent gaming and sort of the Kickstarter things that are going around.
Mm-hmm.
Gives a lot more chance to get your models or your game or your product out there without the risk of having to go through so many other companies and people in between, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that kind of, I guess, is where it's going to hurt is brick and mortar stores that sell models and stuff. If this does become kind of the way of the future, and you're printing your own stuff, obviously they're not going to stay around for much longer.
But they just need to get one.
Yeah, so they're just a store with a 3D printer in the middle of it. You walk in and pay them to use their 3D printer.
It's just like a gaming. It'd just be a gaming, like a gaming space, and you can print them as well. You need not so much display or anything. You could just have the models out to play, and just print them out as you want to buy them.
Yeah, I mean that'd be kind of cool. You have your store where you have a couple of computers for people to design their models or select what they want to. Then you got like a couple of 3D printers, and then you also have some tables to play the game on. So
That'd be awesome.
I mean, it is kind of taking away the hobby a little bit, I guess. If it's just printing your model, you're kind of taking away that kind of conversion aspect if you can just go on and design it yourself. But I still think it's definitely a positive. I mean, obviously it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's going to take a while.
I'm just surprised at the quality of these guys.
Yeah, I was as well. Yeah. Any final words, Seb?
I'm just ridiculously excited and had my mind blown, and I just can't wait to see more, to be honest.
Savage, final.
I'm on the fence still.
You don't like the idea?
It's like I said, it's a good idea, but to me, it just seems impractical. Like, yeah, it's probably going to take like 5, maybe even 10 years for it to become a big thing, really.
I don't know. I think you're underestimating how fast technology moves. I mean, 10 years,
Yeah.
like 10 years ago. Look at how technology
moves
was
fast,
then.
but yeah, technology moves fast, but money
Savage does.
is always the issue.
I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna say, like, in a year we're gonna be seeing games that are based on this. I mean, all it would take would be one Kickstarter to have someone get their, like, kind of ideas. You know, you kickstart this program where this guy buys a couple of 3D printers and prints the models and sends them to you. You know, kind of thing.
Even then, like, I don't know, it wouldn't be profitable
Why?
to run. Well, if you sell them one model, that's like one model that they can print infinite amount of times, and then they have the file on their computer, which they could then take to a friend's house and plug into their computer.
Well, you can do that with anything.
Like,
you can do that with, you know,
Music, films,
yeah.
games.
Yeah, but you can't do that with like tabletop games. You can't take a Space Marine to your friend's house and just copy it.
But you telling me there's no PDFs on your computer?
That's rules. Like, rules is. But I'm talking like actual physical.
Yeah, but
models.
you're saying that it's not profitable because of that. But there's so many other things that are profitable where you can still pirate it. That was the point. Like, it'd be so cheap to do anyway that even if you do get a few people that aren't paying for it, you know. I think it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, and it's the creativity of it and the individual ability to get involved. I think is nice.
So I guess in a year's time we'll look back and we'll see what's happened, and then we'll see who's right
Savage,
and wrong.
Savage has done nothing, and I've painted one demon.
In a year's time.
Yeah.
Hey, I might assemble one model. Come on, give me that.
Okay, so I think we'll move on from that to Shamehammer, everyone's favorite or least favorite segment, where we look at models that look like genitalia. And it hasn't changed this week. We have butts.
Hey, this wasn't me this week.
Yeah, this was Seb. So
In my defense, I discovered that it was on the Dostroom page even after I suggested it. So, but yes, these are the assault butts. It's a Kickstarter that's got 10 days to go. They were hoping to raise $150. So far, they've raised $1,232. And here's their spiel: in the grimdark most far future, war has engulfed the galaxy. A plague has come from the furthest dimensions of the unknown, wiping out whole populations. The plague causes unspeakable agony as the victim's butt takes on a life of its own, tearing itself away to attack mindlessly. Perhaps it's some government science project gone awry. Perhaps, I don't know, it's magic or something. What I do know is the butt wars rage. So yes. This is a wargaming Kickstarter for butts. There is flying butts, which are the assault butts. There are booty butts, which are the pirate butts. There's even a rumpagon, which is a big bum dragon.
I think we got some pictures of them. So we got the pirate butt here.
I think they're the free booties.
Okay, that's just like, if I brought this, I'd be angry. You can see fingerprints in the hat.
It does say it's a product concept, and the final product may vary.
That's true.
But yeah, Do you not want a free booty?
And then we got the dragon. That oh god, this just reminded me of like South Park with the, the people with the butts for heads.
Yeah. Although Fox might just put some fangs on him and make him his vampire counts.
Why does it have a hat on it?
Why does it not have a hat on it?
It's majestical.
This is
Of
like
all the questions.
like
a hat, outrageous, I say.
okay. Well, let's think about it this way. Like, okay, there's a plague's gone over the world. Your butt rips from you and takes on a life of its own.
Yes.
And takes
So
your
this
hat.
one turns into a dragon thing and starts wearing a hat.
Presumably,
Maybe it was a
this-
dragon's
I'm-
bum.
or a very high commander in the military or something. It's perfectly feasible, as you explained to me about the Necromancer and the Catan earlier. The populace became, just the normal Necron warriors, and they would become normal bums, and the more warlike heroes may become Rumpagons.
I mean, people, if you're so desperate to get rid of your money, I will take it off you. And, because how much has this guy got again? Like over $1,000?
$1,232 so far, which is nearly, I would say, about 800% of what he wanted.
And I want to go kind of back to the speech, their little, sales pitch. Does that sound kind of like the 40k universe to you? Grimdark, war is everything.
It does a little bit, yes. Well, you could.
So that means
maybe
are these
this is what happens.
meant to be played in a 40k setting? Like, are these like a count as army for something?
I think it might be a game within itself, but I'm sure you could. These could possibly be Night Lords. You could
Or
maybe have
Slaanesh.
a Rumpagon instead of a Helldrake, maybe.
Yeah, I think that is a Games Workshop base. So it's
But you do have to. The bases and flight stand need to be supplied themselves. So the beauty thing is you have to build it and make it yourself. So if you get that model, it's just going to be a round grey bum and two separate grey wings.
it's like I could sculpt that myself. It's
Right, they need to show off, Toxic.
I think anyone could sculpt that themselves. I
But
mean,
it wouldn't be an assault.
if you gave Savage 10 years, he could probably sculpt that as well.
It's not that hard. I do it with blue tack all the time.
I mean, it would just take you a long time.
Well, like if I mass produce them, yeah.
So
Might get your order in the next few years.
I think we should do that as like a hammer project. In the week, we'll just sculpt our own butt models and come back and show them in the next week's show. And just
See,
The really depressing thing about that is I'm really excited and will do more of that than I will of modelling now for the week.
well, I did sculpt a butt onto a Skaven model for Jens once, so that was something. So Skaven butts.
And there is definitely conversion potential. You could just attach these butts to the back of a Space Marine or something, or a Terminator.
It's just
See, and you're excited about 3D printing. Imagine all the things that people could do with 3D printing.
Oh, imagine the Slaanesh tanks!
Yeah, like that one we saw a couple weeks
but at
ago.
least people wouldn't be making Kickstarters for people to pay them money to make these things.
This is a limited edition, one-off. This is never going to happen again, Toxic. You could own a piece of history if you only donate.
Okay, do you have the prices on what you get for donating to this thing?
I do. Let me just
Like for $1,000, can I get my own butt in the game?
Oh, the most expensive is at $90, and there's only 2 of them left. There's a double handful special. So you get a Rumpagon, a single Captain Buttbeard, and 5 flying ass butts. So that's 7 models in total. But they're unpainted and unassembled, and you have to supply your own flying stand. And the cheapest, I believe, is... So the cheapest is $1 or more. Oh, you get an ass butt wallpaper. or for $8 you get. Oh no, they're all gone. All the early bird specials are gone. They've completely sold out all of their flying ass butts.
I might have done
Yeah,
it
it's like-
if I got my own butt in the game. If he came and sculpted my butt and put it on a model. But
Now that would be something. I'm not being fair, Toxie. If you're going to sculpt anyone's butt, they might as well sculpt my ass, because you're a tiny thing. You probably don't even have an ass.
I don't. I've already told Fox that when.
It's just flat.
Yeah, I got nothing. So if that plague does happen, I'm the hero of the day. Like, my butt doesn't rip from me because I don't already have one. So it's me against the butts.
See, you're getting excited about it now. Getting into the grim, dark, most far future.
I think he's getting a bit too excited about him being alone with butt.
Opportunities.
I don't really want to think about it too much, but I don't like to think about how they actually attack.
Yeah, don't think about it too hard.
Okay.
They just fly down on your head, suffocate you.
What's their shooting attack?
Also, like Seb mentioned before the show, I like how their base stands just stick right up between the cheeks.
They can vector strike.
So yeah, butts. We didn't have butts for a couple of weeks, so we've had butts aplenty now.
So I think that's the only person in the Shamehammer this week, unless you have one, Savage.
No, I think that takes the cake anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So who wants to?
Oh, let's let Savage make a noise that sounds nothing like a hammer. Go on, Savage.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Now I've got to think of it sounds.
Just
Meow. It's as far from a hammer as you'll probably get.
Can I put you in the hammer next episode?
You can.
Shamehammer, not knowing how to make a hammer sound. But I think that's just kind of become the norm now. Is you just have to make a noise that isn't a hammer.
Yeah.
So moving on, we got a unit of the week, and this is one that we saw just before the show started, and I know for at least two of us it made us very excited and tingly in some special places. But it is
boring.
it is this conversion. It's not really a unit of the week. The actual unit is meant to be Storm Talon for Space
No,
Marine.
it's fanboy of the week, and that goes to Toxic.
No. So this is more of just like a model of the week, I guess, and it's called a Viper, Storm Viper. So it's there we go. It's basically a Battlestar Galactica Viper, but it's a count as Storm Talon.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
I'm happy to fangirl enough for Savage just to sulk in the corner if he's finding it boring, because that's a Viper for 40k. What more could you ask for?
I know, it's got
It's kind of like the Eldar flyer. That long shape.
We've done Shamehammer now, Savage.
so yeah, it's I mean, that's a nice looking model, nice paint job. It looks like a Viper. It really does. And I'm jealous. I want one. When I first saw it, I thought it was a new Forge World unit, and I would have brought 3 of those. But
So GW's protecting their own IP and then stealing everybody else's.
yeah,
And claiming it for themselves, so then they can sue Battlestar Galactica.
but
it's a beautiful thing. And the
What
fact
is it
that
actually
the
made
whole
out?
nose cone. The whole nose cone's converted on its own, I think.
yeah, I think the majority of the chassis is conversion of its own from plasticard by the looks of it, or something like that. And then obviously the engines from a Storm Talon. But it's amazing. I mean,
'Cause sorry.
Savage. Even if it isn't from a show or anything like that, like, you can't tell me that that's not a good conversion. and a nice looking model.
Yeah, I could probably do a bit better if you gave me like 20 years.
I'm gonna hold you up to that. 20 years time, I want to see something better than that. I'm putting it in my calendar.
Okay.
But I think you should go into the inspiration it's given you for kind of your Battlestar themed army that you would dream of doing.
I know, it would be... Well, like, I'm not gonna do it now, because this is... I don't think I can do better than that. So...
But what were your ideas, though? Your ideas were good. I enjoyed
Yeah.
them.
It'd be cool to have that, and then you have your storm ravens are like mini battle stars, and it'd be awesome. And then you got maybe some land speeder raptors. Yeah.
It's a dream. Live the dream.
Yeah.
It's all about just geekery is everywhere, and if you can meld it together and enjoy things in one small package, why not?
Yeah, I think that's honestly that's a beautiful thing to say, Seb.
So
people need to stop. People need to stop, looking at who's going to sue who, and just enjoy the, I guess, geek culture in general. If you can mix it together and enjoy it, why not?
So next week we're going to see a Chevy Impala drive up onto the 40k universe to slay some demons.
Yeah, do it. If you can
No.
make your rhinos look like Impalas and
Awesome crossover.
some Grey Knight riding Impalas. Yeah. Okay, so I think we'll move on to the lab, where we have a list to talk about. So, did everyone have the list?
I do indeed.
Yes.
Okay, so I think I'll go over that. It has the list. I can't. Oh, that's really bad. I can't remember the Tumblr user that sent this in, but I thank you for doing it. And if anyone else wants to send their list in, we can talk about it on the lab. We'll be more than happy. So it's a Dark Angels list. It starts off with Belial with a Thunderhammer Storm Shield, 4 squads of 5 Deathwing Terminators. One's got a Heavy Flamer, 3. One squad's got a Heavy Flamer with 2 Thunderhammer Storm Shields, and I assume the rest all have just the Power Fist Stormbolter. The other 3 close, 3 Chain Fists, not in the same squad, but let me start this again. First one, Deathwing Terminators, 5 of them, Heavy Flamer, 2 of them have Thunderhammer Storm Shields, and I assume the other ones have Stormbolter and a Power Fist. The other 3 squads are the same, and they have a Cyclone Missile Launcher, 2 Thunderhammer Storm Shields, and 1 Chain Fist. And then we go on to the Ravenwing Attack Squadron, 2 Melter Guns, a Sergeant with a Combi Melter, and a Attack Bike with a Multi-Melter. I assume because it's got the Attack Bike, I think you have to have a squad of 6 to get that, so I assume all the other ones are just standard. And then Ravenwing Attack Squadron, 2 Flamers, 2 regular bikes, Veteran Sergeant with a Power Sword, Vindicator with a Siege Shield, Vindicator with a Siege Shield, and then a Nephilim Jet Fighter to finish that off. So, decent list. What everyone's thoughts on this? Seb, I know you still getting used to the rules of 40k, but what is your
There's
opinion?
definitely a decent variety there. I believe that the list comes from Moronic Nonsense on Tumblr.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that you're leading with Bilal and taking epic amounts of Deathwing Terminators is definitely nice and fluffy there. But there's just a nice variety of things there. Obviously, you've got the Terminators going to be clumping towards everyone with the Ravenwing zipping around them, and then obviously the Nephilim's going to be adding some even more heavy support with the Vindicators. So it's heavy and slow, and then nippy and heavy, which is it's going to be effective.
Mm-hmm.
It scared me, I'll say that.
What was the points on this? Is it like 1850 or something like that?
2000.
2000?
Yeah.
Alright. Savage, throw it over to you. What are your thoughts on this?
It is very nasty, very nasty. You definitely like, oh yeah, it just be so quick and nasty,
Well,
kind of
because
like toxic.
yeah. Well, you're assuming that the Terminator's gonna deep strike around the bikes. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the way that I'd run it. Is
What about a criticism though? I mean, people don't send it in for us to go, "Oh, lovely list," and then end the segment. They want a little bit of constructive criticism.
it's Dark Angels.
You're just the worst person.
Chaos
Yeah.
is where it's at.
Yeah, lose the Emperor, get rid of.
Yeah. No, you'd probably add a bit more variety, I guess, into like even just like what the Terminators have, because Thunderhammer Storm Shields are pretty nasty, but
Mhm.
the Terminators can do a lot of other things as well.
Yeah, well, my kind of my gripe on the Terminators is that Dark Angel Terminators are amazing with their shooting. Surprisingly, when they deep strike, they get that twin link shooting round, which I really like to maximize by giving them all guns. It does kind of keep them back because you don't have that 3-up shield to kind of save them from incoming AP2 or AP1 fire. But that twin link shooting, even on just 5 Stormbolters, is amazing. And that would be my only kind of gripe on the Terminators, is that you do have only 3 guns, if that, for when you come down and do get that twin link shooting.
So would you say maybe have him in a wedge and have a storm shield on the front guy and the rest of the guys?
I would say
Twin
maybe
link.
only take one and then just kind of position him. And the good thing about having 2 is that you can position them around the squad, because if you're deep striking down, you can position one this way to take on those plasma guns next to you, or you can position one in another way, and you can kind of protect the unit. Again, that's just personal flavor, and it might even be more effective with the 2 storm shields. But my biggest criticism on the list is the bikes. I would just gut them out and just go minimum three bikers, and then that way. I say that just mostly because they're not troop. You've only got Belial, who's making your Terminators troop, so you don't really need the big. As far as I can tell, you're only taking the bikes to get the Terminators onto the field. So I would maybe drop them down to just squads of 3. Maybe just take 2 squads of 3, and then just have them more of a unit to get the Terminators in, and then kind of, don't worry about the bikes after that. And then you can save some points for something else, because as far as I can tell, and my experience with bikes is they're a bit hit or miss. They're a decent unit, but when you start giving them upgrades like that, you are getting this expensive squad that is only 4, 5, 6 models. But apart from that, it is a good list, and I think it will work fine the way it is. That's my only kind of things that you could kind of change a little bit. I really like the Vindicators. I like that touch because it gives you this anti-troop, anti-anything kind of attack, and you got 2 of them. The Nephilim is good. You got some anti-flyer. So yeah, I think it's the only downside again with the Terminators is that you don't have as many bodies on the floor. You've got you've only got 20 troop in a 2,000 point list. So yeah, so maybe cut down on the bikes, and then you can get some powered armored Marines to kind of hold your home objectives. And sit back, maybe get some scouts and put some camo cloaks on them with sniper rifles, and sit them back on an objective, infiltrate them somewhere on an objective. That way you just have a bit more flexibility with your troops, because in 6th edition the game is really about troops and keeping your troops alive. I mean, I'm sure Seb can kind of chime in on that in our games, because it basically came down to who could kill each other's troops first.
But no, it came down to when you killed all my troops first.
Yeah.
Every time.
Well, yours were standing out in the open. Mine were. I had less, but I had them in a transport. So.
I think you definitely inspired me to take transport more seriously.
So yeah. Any final words on this list before we move on?
How do you reckon the jet fighter would go? Because I'm not too familiar with that.
It's one of those units that is basically, it has a task and that's what it does. I'm assuming it's going to have some sort of anti-tank weaponry on it. So it's, as far as I can tell, it's there to take down any enemy flyers. If no one has a flyer, it's there to kind of just harass enemy tanks. It's a nice little unit to take on tanks and flyers. Not the best flyer in the game, but it's something. You could probably swap it out for, if you really had to, maybe a defense line, but I honestly think that's probably you could probably swap it out for, maybe you can get some Devastators with missile launchers with some flak missiles, if that's what it was there for anti-air, but I have no problem with it being there.
Okay.
The Black Sword bombs with Strength 6 AP4 seem pretty intimidating.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice little unit. So yeah, it's a nice list, and I would really like to hear how that actually plays on the tabletop. What was the user called again, Seb?
The music was it was moronic nonsense.
Yeah, so if you do actually play this list and put it on the table, send us a message and tell us how it went. I'd be very interested. Yeah.
And we could say the list is not moronic nonsense.
So we'll move on to hobby tip of the week. Again, I think this is kind of the segment that we don't really think about. So we get to it and we kind of have to think about something of a hobby tip. Does anyone have anything this week of a hobby tip?
I always think that Vassal was a great way to purchase your armies and to bring in the 3D stuff. You can almost say the printing would be a very good way to start trying things out in real life, as with Vassal, because Vassal's the only way we get to play. But if you have any more direct modelling thing you want to say, then we'll go with that.
I like that Vassal, if you don't already know, is a program that lets you play board games over the computer. There is a 40k module for it, so you can play 40k online over the computer with friends. It's obviously we're not telling you this to stop buying models and to just use this program, but the tip would be, like Seb said, it's a good way to test your armies and just to practice the game in general. Like we've been doing, we've kind of been testing his demons and Chaos Marines and figuring out what he likes and what he doesn't like and what works and what doesn't work. So when it comes time to buying models and when it comes time to actually playing games, it's
You've got the money for what you actually want.
Yeah, you kind of have an idea.
I think I was planning to put. Sorry, Savage, carry on.
No, that's okay. It can wait.
I was just going to say that I had planned to just sort of spam Nurglings and use them as sort of human shields, and in the first couple of games I had, they just didn't work at all. So I've saved my money on that, and it looks like I'll be putting that money into getting the Helldrake. So don't worry, Games Workshop, you're not missing out.
Yeah. Savage, I know you want to say something. It's on the tip of your tongue.
Well, I got two things, but yeah, I reckon it's probably like the best substitute for like 40k if you can't actually physically play it with someone. Like
so better than Dawn of War.
Yeah, much better. In the sense of if you're preferring actually playing the game.
Yeah.
I think Dawn of War's fun, but it's just not 40k. It's just not the same, is it?
It's not the tabletop. Even though it would be nice to have this, could you imagine Vassal with like a 3D kind of interface like Dawn of War? You see your guys, you move them, and you click on the unit that you want dead, and it just does it automatically. It does all the rolling and the saves and stuff, and you see a nice little cinematic of the battle.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, that.
I'm saving up for that.
I want, yeah, screw 3D printing. I want that to come out.
Yes, someone did mention that earlier. Wait for holographic stuff to come. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I have to admit, I'm with Savage. When Yu-Gi-Oh was a thing, that's what I always wanted, was to play like on the TV show. Put my cards down and have them holographically appear.
Yeah, and then call out attacks that they didn't actually have.
Yeah, so
summon 3 blue eyes in one turn. Yeah,
so I think if holographics, like holograph games, I think I'll be going back to Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Is it Google or someone has already patented or copyrighted the holodeck idea?
Really, that's insane. Another little hobby, I don't know, like discussion thing, I guess it would more so be, is like, does anyone look after their brushes? Like, use brush cleaner or anything?
Yeah, sometimes I do. I have a problem with my dry brushes. That red paint just does not get out of them very well, and when it comes time to using them again, sometimes a bit of red will show up. So when I'm doing like a really light dry brush, it'll kind of have a red tinge to it. So sometimes I use some brush cleaner to kind of get rid of that. Most of the time I just kind of bite the bristles kind of my teeth and kind of just suck the paint out. It sounds odd, but it works.
Yeah, because I don't know, it's always just like, I watched like Awesome Paint Job and stuff like that, and he's like, make sure you look after your brushes and use brush cleaner and stuff. But like, we're using Games Workshop brushes, which are like $10 or something like that, and a pot of brush cleaner is like, I don't know, I haven't really looked, but I'm guessing it's probably about $10 or something like that. So
this was almost a professional segment for a moment then, Savage.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. And it's just like, yeah, fuck it. I don't know what it is. It's probably like, the same price. Like,
no, I have actually looked it up. I just forgot, so I made it up. Yeah.
Savage.
I tried to bring something to the table and just shut down. You know what?
Hey, I didn't do it this time. This was all Seb.
My apologies, Mr. Savage.
Apology accepted.
I think the biggest thing on taking care of your brushes is just to make sure you don't get paint stuck in them. That's like, make sure you always rinse them out and just, because the worst part about, and I've always kind of said this, that people are so obsessed with getting the smallest brush so they can do the details, and I've always kind of said a lot of the time it doesn't have anything to do with the brush. Like if you've got the skills, you can use a big brush to do small details. You just got to take care of that brush and know what to do. You don't need the smallest brush to the smallest details.
See, I did that, and I bought like the tiniest little brush, and it was pretty useless because it just was too flimsy because there wasn't enough hair to hold it all together.
And it can't. Yeah, you're like 2 pieces of hair. You can't hold any paint. You put a little paint daub on it, and it like bends.
Yeah, it was.
What's that, Seb?
I just had the image of you with the paint roller and like just doing detail in space with the whole paint roller. Like,
yeah, looks good. Looks good.
Yeah, just covering it, and then like you get like a aftershot, and it's like the perfectly painted model. It's like, what? The smallest paintbrush that I use is what's it called? The fine detail brush by Games Workshop. That's the smallest one I use, and I hear a lot of people saying that that's not small enough for them, that they need a smaller brush. But
yeah. I use that one as well.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting off topic about taking care of your brushes, but brush cleaner and buying brushes and stuff. See, Savage has like a quiver of brushes, and he's like, broken, and just pulls out another one instead of like cleaning it.
I actually do. I have like doubles of some, but I just think it's easy, just well, not easier, but yeah, it's easier just to buy a new brush, really. Like,
So your hobby
buy-
tip is don't take care of your brushes, just buy new brushes?
well, no, I'm like for the brushes that I buy, which are like Games Workshop ones,
Mhm.
which aren't that much money. Like if you're buying like really good brushes, then obviously you look after them. But you know, at like budget brushes, I wouldn't go buying brush cleaner for.
No, I can kind of agree with you there. I mean, the brushes I use are mostly Games Workshop, and I take care of them enough where they'll last me. You know, the regular brushes will last me years. The dry brushes I go through a bit faster because you know, a dry brush you do use a bit more aggressively.
Yeah, you're pretty much just destroying the brush.
Yeah. If you're probably not going to see them if I show them on camera, but I have a new dry brush, and the bristles on that are so much longer than my old dry brush because that's just how it just wears it down. Yeah.
It's something we talk about another time. See, the Games Workshop's actual implements and paints and stuff, and other things that are out there in a
Yeah.
hobby section, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that's it for today's episode. It's kind of odd that we seem to have more viewers right at the end than we did at the start.
They heard there was butts, and they
Yeah.
came.
So if you are just kind of tuning in, this was going to be posted, you know, sometime today, so you can watch it from the start. I'd just like to apologize for all the. I don't know exactly if this is happening, but it seems like we're dropping signal every few minutes. I think that's just my CPU's kind of freaking out for some reason today. And then again for the during the news segment we had a little technical difficulty.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what happened there. Skype just threw me off.
But we're not professionals at broadcasting. We're just a bunch of amateurs sitting around computers in our pajamas. So
Yeah.
So yeah. Again, Dice Troop is, you know, non-profit. All these shows are free. But if you do feel like donating, the blog does have a donate button. We know a few people have, and we thank everyone for that.
Rocking the monkey PJs.
I have those ones too. I'm not wearing them right now. I'm wearing my Raider pajamas though.
Really?
I'm rocking the Family Guy.
Yeah. See, but I'm wearing the short pajamas though. I'm not wearing the long ones.
It should be like a new thing that to watch the Hammer live, you need to wear PJs.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what time it is.
Well, we are the
PJs.
time zone triple threat, all in our PJs.
Okay. So, anyone want to say anything before we go? Seb, anything?
Yeah, we've got Black Vault, third show, looking at the Path of the Elder series, so we'll actually have some exciting and happy thing to say for once. So yeah, that's on Wednesday. That'll be 1 PM East Coast time, and that's 6 PM UK time. This place.
Oh yeah. Savage, anything? Oh, whatever.
Oh, well, my apologies.
And we respond with tactics, and
That's why I just gave up. I'm like, yeah. I'm just
and
gonna
now
give
it
up.
will happen because we didn't talk about it.
I don't know. We'll see. I will be. I'm hoping to do a fair bit. I'm nearly finished this commission, which is going to free up a bit of my time. So I'm hoping to get a tutorial on making some easy display boards and terrain. I'm going to be doing something about getting my tournament army painted and done in a week. Hopefully I get some more top 5s out there. And that's kind of my goals for this week. So just keep checking the Dice Troop Tumblr page, and you should be seeing some new stuff from me soon.
I wish I could just like finish work just for a week or so. Like how you finish commissions, just like, yeah, I'm finished. I can do my own thing now.
Yeah. And the bad part
Maybe
is,
start doing commissions.
well, the bad part is, then I have to wait for another commission. So it's like I get this paycheck, and then And then I'm just kind of in the breeze, waiting for something else to come. So, anyway, we're not here to talk about commissions versus stable income, but hey, I will do those faster if I actually see some money. That is a big motivator. But so right now I have to finish my tournament, Space Wolves, and then I'm gonna start on those High Elves.
I'll pay for High Elves.
The love of High Elves is not gonna get me through painting them. Your love.
Yeah, give me 10 years and I'll have Fox's High Elves painted.
I'll send them to Savage. He'll get them painted.
Send them to me to put them together first. So I'll be a month or so putting them together, and then. I also want to give my apologies. I'm not going to be here next week because I'm going to be at Collectomania. So if anyone's at Collectomania in Milton Keynes, come along and say hi. But yeah.
Oh, we need to get a cardboard cutout Seb then.
That would be kind of cool. And now to the news with Seb.
Oh, I'm just gonna print out a mask of Seb.
That'd be amazing.
I'll do it just for you.
Okay, so I think that's good. Everyone said their final words. Their
2 cents.
Their 2 cents. Okay. Okay, so thanks guys for watching. We will catch you next week. Well, Seb won't, but we will.
Bye.
Peace out.